Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. Guys, more immigrant tolerance is required in Western Canada. It's a really serious matter. I really want to address it in this video. I even went to my garage. I'm shooting this video from my garage. Baby's sleeping at home. In the backyard, the neighbor is building a deck, so it's noisy. So I'm shooting a video in a garage, and I also have a Canadian flag here. Just how patriotic I am, right? Because I'm Canadian. Guys, here is the biggest thing. Yes, I am Canadian who was born in Ukraine. Just reminding so people don't get really frustrated in the comments, because some people don't like me saying that I'm Canadian, some people from Canada, but I decided I'm going to emphasize on that. So here's guys what I want to tell you. One of the biggest frustration I have, and of people who are meeting here from you guys. I'm meeting you guys from this channel who immigrated recently to Canada and experiences in this kind of things here in Calgary, in Western Canada, where I am. So I decided to cover this sensitive issue. Number one is, guys, is let's start from education, then we'll talk about career. Because it's all related, right? Number one is education. Someone commented my video saying that, Igor, you should really hang out with more Canadians, because if you have poor credential, it basically means you have none. So basically the person is implying that if you're coming from another country other than Canada, your education, your qualifications are poor because your education is not as good, which just means that you don't have any education. That's basically what people are implying. Now, that's not what the government of Canada implies when they select their candidates and when they compare the evaluation of the educational credentials for immigration, but this is how it is really here, how the economy qualifies you, how people who were born here are thinking of you, and that's why it negatively influences people's careers. Now, if you look at education, guys, I'm one of those folks who studied in Canada. I also studied in Ukraine. There is not much difference between the education. Now, we got more group projects here in Canada than in Ukraine. That's true, but we basically studied the same thing. And if you studied well in Ukraine, you might even know more than you would have studied in Canada. There's basically almost the same books: economics, microeconomics, macroeconomics, Adam Smith, and same personalities, guys, supply and demand, almost same products, program. Technically, education is also a product, right? It's a business right now. Universities are spending a ton of money. Here's the thing, guys. So if you are coming from another country, you're expected to have poor qualification, and therefore you don't have any. And it kind of frustrates me a lot, because a lot of people in Canada don't realize how education in Canada is not the best in the world. It is one of the best in the world, especially some university, but not the best in the world. And I recently spoke to colleagues who had their education done in Eastern Europe, who came here, and they said that, well, since they came here, they had to finish the high school here in Canada, and they haven't learned a single new thing for years because the education in Eastern Europe, the school program, is so much ahead than what it is in Canada. Guys, I also want to point out that if, for example, I'm coming from Ukraine, right? The literacy rate in Ukraine is way higher than it is in Canada, percentage-wise. So there is literacy issues even in Canada that people don't want to speak about. Now, when you're taking an immigrant who is speaking one or two languages in addition to English, that they might not sound so, with the accent, it might not sound that they're educated people, but it does not mean that they're not educated. Their literacy levels in their own languages might be really higher than those people who are here. You just cannot judge by people's accent, by their skin color, by the origin color, and that's kind of a thing that really frustrated me, guys, reading this kind of comments, because especially in Western Canada, there is a higher percentage of people who judge you like that. No, guys, I'm not saying everyone is like that. Majority of the people I know are amazing people. Majority of the people on this channel are amazing people. But there is a small percentage of people that puts a lot of people down with such comments. So I decided to address this issue, especially to support you guys who are new immigrants, if you're a new immigrant, and to educate Canadians on some things that people might not have known. Whew. I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. Whew. Anyways, So another part is career, guys. If you're starting a career in Canada because your education credentials are not valid, because of this kind of general bias and attribution and sidelining of immigrants in Canada, I had to start my career from the bottom. So much from the bottom that I had to do labor jobs with my master's degree, with my basically, how many years did I study for my master's degree? 6 years of post-secondary education, which is I had to do bachelor's, because if people don't know, first you need to do bachelor's before you can do master's degree. I was recommended to do PhD. I said I want to be a professor in university. I actually want to do something in my career other than teaching others. So I didn't go for PhD. And then I came to Canada, I finished my 2-year program here, and after that I also got my PMP certification. And right now I'm working on a couple of more certifications and license. I'll tell you guys later on that. Anyways, here's the most important part, guys. Everywhere I worked, I was the most qualified person so far. I was overqualified that my managers were. And literally, I was reporting to people who have basically high school and no university degree, and they did one course or attended a seminar of Dale Carnegie that they were bragging about. That's about it. That's so far of qualification skills that I met with people in Calgary, and people who have my similar kind of qualification skills. They were way higher on the position in way better companies of people of equal education to mine here in Canada, who were born and raised here, did so much better. And here's the thing I say, because I want to tell you guys, you shouldn't be looking at those people who are putting you down or being really negative to you. I want you to be more like me. Because when you're leaving your country, you basically don't care what others people are saying about you or thinking about you for you leaving the country, right? So you just go because you want to do it because it's best for you and your family and for the future. Here's the thing, guys. I have same kind of attitude towards Canada, and I don't look back too much, but once in a while you start to notice where people drop their jaw, where they're surprised that you have achieved so much and that you are successful and that you're pretty new to this country. Because people want you to struggle for 5, 10, 15 years before you get to the same level, similar kind of opportunities as people who were born here. So you're expected to struggle as an immigrant. Your education qualifications, they don't count because people are biased that you don't have any. And same thing applies to your work experience. Now, the more interesting part, guys, about the work experience is that I've been looking, guys, I'm also, biased because I don't know the entire world. So I've been recently watching a lot of Indian movies, and I realized of offices in Delhi, in Mumbai, how they are advanced, how the design, the technologies that people are using in those cities. I haven't seen such offices, and I worked in some really good companies here in Canada. In Calgary, compared to the offices that I've seen in the movies in India, that's just not developed country, right? Or how is it considered here? Calgary offices are just a rundown compared to those offices. So, sometimes you have to realize, guys, if, that Canada is not too much, not as much as advanced as sometimes you're thinking it would be, and sometimes you're going to get, you're definitely going to get more money, hopefully, but you might end up working in an office that less advanced technologically wise, structure wise, management wise than would be in other countries that are considered to be actually less advanced to Canada. But a lot of people who have been here in Canada, they haven't been to a lot of other countries or worked in other companies in other countries, and they have no idea. Guys, I'll tell you from my experience, I'm also a biased individual. When I talk about Afghanistan, I think there is war happening even right now, okay? If I think about some African country, I think there is safari going on. But it's my bias because of the lack of knowledge of what is happening in that region. But for my purposes, for my sake, I educate myself and I do my research about those countries, and I realized, haven't been a war for a long time, and Africa is a pretty developed country. They have huge cities and really interesting infrastructure, and there are so many countries and cultures within that culture too. So the only way to overcome the bias is education, and that's why I decided to produce this video. it's a lot of you know, guys, annoyance when people are saying, well, people are dropping their jaws, so you're an immigrant, how come have you achieved so much, where they're trying to put you down with your education or sideline you. Most frustrating part is people who are commenting on this channel saying that I'm getting paid by Justin Trudeau to bring more immigrants to loot the country. A lot of people are actually thinking that GDP of the country works like that. There is a bag of money, okay, there is a pocket, okay. In my pocket I don't have any Canadian dollars, I have 20 US dollars. Now if I have 20 US dollars, now it's my 20 US dollars. If there's one more person, people are thinking that I have to cut half of it, there's $10 for each. If there's 20 people, everyone gets $1, but that's not how it works. Immigration in Canada, actually, everyone comes up with their 20 bucks. So if you're an immigrant, they select you in the criteria in such a way that you have to have perfect health. So you're not going to be burdened of the Canadian economy. You don't have any criminal records, so you don't create any danger to the country. You have perfect health, so they don't pay for you. You don't have any disabilities that would create a strain on the Canadian economy. So basically you're educated, healthy, young, strong, with money, ready to settle, with English, to bring a ton of money, settle here and start working and paying taxes. That's how immigrants are selected. So in majority of immigrants actually bring a ton of money with them to the country, a ton of education. They get a lot of underappreciation, especially in the Western Canada, and I decided to bring this up to your attention, guys. There is a lot of good people, majority of people are not like that, but I believe that in Western Canada there is a higher percentage of those people who call themselves right wing. I don't even know what that means. There is a left wing, probably left wing is not as good as the right wing, because right is obviously it's right, and left is what, wrong. I don't know, guys. Anyways, what I want to tell you is this is the issue that exists here in Canada, frustrates a lot, creates a lot of burdens, a lot of barriers for immigrants and for the growth of the country in general. Look how many successful CEOs are in Silicon Valley, in the United States, from other countries, from all over the globe. Whereas in Canada, well, a majority of people here, they don't value immigrants as much. And that's really a problem, because you can get really talented people from all over the globe. Canada has the opportunity to select the best of the best and bring the best of the best and brightest people here to Canada from any country in the world, because there's so much of money and capital that people can afford. But unfortunately, when a lot of people are here, especially in Western Canada, they try to push you down to the bottom and make your struggle like as if you're expected to struggle, just to struggle. And it actually is not good for the country, because the progress of the country, you're basically wasting the talent. And there, if you look at the research, and there is a huge research on Statistics Canada on how immigrants struggle, and that they're like 4, 5, 6 times less likely to get same kind of jobs, at least initially, like Canadians do with the same kind of education. And I think it's really wrong. It's not good for the country, it's not good for the economy, it's not good for anyone. And that's why I decided to spread awareness and create such a video for you guys. Let me know in the comments down below if you have experienced this kind of bias. For me, it's easier, guys. I'm Ukrainian, okay? I don't look much different, okay? Number one, I'm not a visible minority. Number two, there is a huge Ukrainian heritage, okay, here in Canada. But still, being an Eastern European, people would expect that I work construction. If you're Punjabi, you must be a truck driver, or a cab driver, or if you are, I don't know how to stereotype too much, guys. Like from another country, you must be a Tim Hortons employee or a babysitter. Like there's so much of bias going on, and it's really frustrating to see all of these kind of things, where people just judge you by the way you look and by the way where you come from, instead of actually being open-minded towards your qualification and experience, that it can be as good or even better than what you get here, and that you don't just come here to take the money and send it back home, but how much of the contribution towards the GDP, towards the economy, towards the success of the country. And if you were to take the advantage of those people who are coming here and give them the opportunities, it would create more jobs and more success for my favorite country, Canada. Guys, see you in Canada. Love you all. See you soon. I hope this video was not too much negative. We'll make it better, guys. See you soon. See you in Canada. Love you all. Bye for now. And if you're from Canada, don't get upset with this video. I'm just talking about the tiny percentage of people that actually puts a big percentage of immigrants down with such irresponsible commentary. See you guys in the next video. Bye for now.